Hello, this is Mr. McMurray, and dizzy there, moving so fast. Okay, anyhow, so we're going to look at the review part one. Okay, on Wednesday, that would be tomorrow, we will have a test over the first part. It will cover your momentum notes, and it'll also be kind of the principles behind impulse and momentum and stuff like that. It won't have a lot of problems or calculations and things like that. Okay, so that's basically coming up. So we need to do the first part, and this will be due today, and then you can take the test tomorrow. Now, first part says, which of the following statements are true about momentum? So you're going to read these statements. If it is true, you can put true or put a check over here. And if it's not, then you can just leave it blank. Okay, same thing down here, talking about impulse. If it's true, put a check in here. If it's not, kind of wrong. And just leave it blank, sorry, not kind of wrong. Whew. It's early morning, what can I say? All right, which of the following statements are true about collisions? Same thing. All right, and elastic and inelastic collisions. All right, that's pretty straightforward. Each of the following objects, which of the following objects have momentum? Well, circle all that apply. Well, if they have momentum, circle it. Remember, the formula for momentum is mass times velocity. So if they have velocity and they have mass, then they would have momentum. If they would not, then they do not have momentum. All right. Then there's just some short answers here. Let's see. I think that's all pretty straightforward. There are some simple formulas here that you can plug into. But basically, for the most part, there won't be a lot of that on the test. Okay, it'll be more just understanding the relationship between mass and velocity and momentum and impulse, change in momentum and impulse, that sort of thing. All right, so I think this one's pretty straightforward, and you can do that. All right, and I went back and checked the test again. So you're going to have things like a true or false questions. You need what the units would be for impulse, or the units for the different things would be symbols for the different things, whether they're vector quantities, which means they have a direction or not. About if the impulse changes, how is that going to affect the amount of force you feel? We talked about with the egg throw and things like that. So kind of go through your notes. It's more just, do you understand the different things about momentum and so forth? If two objects hit each other, which one exerts more force on each other? And we know that is the same. It's always the same amount. And because for every action force, there's equal opposite reaction. And they also hit each other for the same length of time. So the time has to be the same. One can't hit the other one for longer than the other one hits it. And so the time is the same. If the force and time are the same, that means the impulse is the same. And if the impulse is the same, that means the change in momentum is the same. And the final thing, though, is acceleration depends on the mass of the object. So if they feel the same force, a small object's going to accelerate or decelerate a lot more than a large object will. And so it will have a different effect on it, because that has more to do with the mass of the object, and since they're both getting the same force. If they have the same mass, then they'll have the same acceleration and so forth. Okay, what does it mean if you have a negative velocity? It just means you're going the opposite direction. If you have a negative acceleration, on the other hand, that means you are slowing down. Okay, if you have a negative momentum, then yes, you're going the opposite direction also, because that has to do with the velocity being negative. All right, and so velocity means you're going opposite directions. A negative momentum, on the other hand, means acceleration, means that you're slowing down. All right, things like that you will need to know. And so just kind of look through your notes and stuff like that. The second part of the test, which will be probably Thursday, will have more to do with the formulas, especially elastic and inelastic. But we'll have some practices for that for you tomorrow. All right. So anyhow, have a good day, and we will talk to you again sometime soon.